The school bell rang like any other day at Riverside High, but for some reason, the wind felt heavier. The sky above Los Angeles was dim, and students rushed out of their classrooms, eager to begin their weekend. In the hallway, 17-year-old Alina pushed her mop bucket aside as a wave of laughter passed by. She was the janitor's daughter, often invisible to most, except when someone needed a mess cleaned up. At that same moment, Ethan Bell, son of real estate tycoon Charles Bell, was walking toward the school parking lot. With his designer jacket and air of confidence, Ethan was used to being followed by admirers, friends, or photographers. But today, he walked alone, pressing a hand to his chest. Something was wrong. He staggered past the rows of lockers and into the back stairwell, clutching his chest harder. His breath came in short, sharp gasps. A searing pain radiated down his left arm. No one noticed. No one, except Alina. She had been wiping down a window nearby and saw the way Ethan collapsed to his knees, gasping. Her eyes widened. For a split second, fear froze her, but only for a second. She rushed over. "Hey! Are you okay?" Ethan couldn't respond. His lips had turned pale, and his eyes were glassy. "Help! Someone call 911. Alina screamed into the hallway, but it was nearly empty now. She looked back at Ethan, who was now barely conscious. She remembered the CPR training her mom had forced her to learn at the community center. Her hands shook as she lowered him to the ground. "Come on, stay with me," she whispered. With her heart pounding, Alina began chest compressions. Count. Breathe. Push. She didn't care that he was a millionaire's son, or that she was just the janitor's daughter. She only saw a human life slipping away. Minutes felt like hours. Then, finally, sirens. When the paramedics arrived, they took over swiftly. One of them, a woman named Rosa, looked at Alina with stunned appreciation. "You saved his life," she said. "If you hadn't started CPR when you did, he wouldn't have made it." Alina sat back against the wall, breathing heavily, the adrenaline still coursing through her. Ethan woke up 3 days later in a pristine hospital room, sunlight spilling across the white sheets. His father stood nearby, talking to the doctor, but Ethan's eyes searched the room for something else, or someone. "Where's the girl?" he asked, his voice hoarse. "What girl?" Charles Bell asked. "The one who helped me. She was there." The doctor smiled. "You're talking about Alina. She performed CPR. Without her, things could have gone very differently." Ethan blinked. Alina. Back at school, things hadn't changed much for Alina. She still wore her second-hand shoes and carried cleaning supplies between classes. The only difference was a rumor, something about her saving Ethan Bell's life. Some didn't believe it. Others ignored it. Until one morning, a sleek black car pulled up in front of the school. Charles Bell stepped out in a tailored suit, but his usual arrogance was replaced by something far more human. He walked straight into the front office, where Alina was wiping down the glass counter. He stopped in front of her. "Are you Alina?" he asked. She looked up, startled. "Yes, sir. I'm Charles Bell. Ethan's father." "I know," she said softly. He paused. "You saved my son. I did what anyone should do." "No," he replied, his voice thick with emotion. "Most people didn't. But you did." The next moment, Ethan himself walked in, his eyes brighter, his steps slower. "Hey," he said gently. Alina looked at him and smiled. "You're okay. Thanks to you." He stepped closer. "I don't remember everything, but I remember your face. You didn't leave me." There was a long pause, filled only with gratitude. Charles Bell cleared his throat. "Alina. I'd like to offer something. A scholarship. Full tuition." Anywhere you want to go. Her eyes widened. What? You deserve more than this hallway, he said, glancing at the mop bucket. I didn't save him for a reward, she whispered. I know. That's exactly why you deserve one. Months later, a ceremony was held at Riverside High. The auditorium was packed. Cameras flashed, students clapped, and reporters scribbled notes. A giant check was handed to Alina, enough for a full ride to Stanford, her dream school. When she took the mic, her voice trembled. I never imagined someone like me would stand here. My mom is a janitor. I help her clean this very floor. People like us don't usually get seen. But that day, I saw someone in pain. That's all. No rich kid, no titles, just a person who needed help. She looked over at Ethan, who sat in the front row, eyes glassy again, this time with emotion, not illness. We don't need to be rich to be kind. We just need to be willing. The crowd rose to its feet. Applause thundered through the hall. Years later, Alina became a cardiac nurse and founded a nonprofit that taught CPR in underprivileged schools. Ethan went on to use his family wealth to fund hospitals in low-income communities. The two stayed close, bound not by wealth or status, but by something deeper. A moment of humanity. A heartbeat saved. And a reminder that sometimes, the most overlooked people are the ones who hold the power to save the world.